screen here. Hello. Yes. Today we'll be talking about the neuroscience of mantra chanting. And of course, let me first begin with the small prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. In short, this prayer is to remove all the obstacles between us. So that obstacle might be Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik or Adhyatmik, whichever works out. Sometimes what I say and what reaches you is different. So I'm just invoking the presence of Ganeshji Maharaj to make this transition so smooth so that whatever you have asked me to speak to all the audience, let that go as is without me being in the picture. So from you directly to them. So this is what my request to Ganeshji is. So offerings at the feet of my gurus, and of course the ultimate guru is Lord Shiva, Adi Yogi you call it, who is the father of mantra, tantra and yantra, all three. So mantra is the sound energy and the yantra is the space energy in which the sound travels, right? So, and Tantra is the technology, bridging the both. So, we're not going to talk about the Tantra and the Yantra. Today, we'll talk just mantra. Okay. So, what is mantra? Mananat trayate iti mantra. They said that mananat means sustained repetition or contemplation, and trayate means that which protects or releases. So, the sustained repetition or contemplation, mananat, of that which protects or releases from all miseries is mantra. Simple, right? So if we chant a mantra, it is bound to release us from the misery. What all the misery I will discuss later on. So mananat, basically miseries are nothing. Bodily misery or mental misery is all created by us only. Nobody else creates it. The brain is the functional aspect, is the structural aspect of mind, and mind is the functional aspect of brain. So, you must have heard of psychosomatic disorders. So most of the diseases are all psychosomatic, most 99%. And 1% also is also psychosomatic. So it is 100%. So mantras are basically to reprogram our brain so that we can lead a happy and a healthy life, totally fulfilled life. Fulfillment is very essential in life. Otherwise, you may have everything yet non-fulfilled. So mantras are there to do that, reprogramming of the brain so that we can help lead a happy and healthy and fulfilled life. So why mantra chanting is important? This is, I used to argue with my mom. Would say, why should we chant mantra? What is the whole idea behind chanting? I don't understand Sanskrit. Why should I chant? Then she would say that it is to clean the apparatus. The brain, it is to, junk is sitting in the brain, wiring is not proper. So even in order to clean that apparatus, you have to chant the mantra, to seek, so that you can seek, understand, and comprehend the higher order of knowledge and wisdom. Now, how do we do that? Like just like a jeweler, you must have gone to some jewelers, give your jewelry, and that person goes downstairs or wherever the technician is. There is a sonication bath sitting there, right? And it sonic. They put it on a high sound vibration. It is a sonication, really high pitch sound comes out in a water container, and that takes away all the junk from there. Similarly, mantra chanting, say for instance, Yajurveda has a lot of spandan or intonations and vibration, and that is what rewires our brain. For instance, in Yajurveda. So that because of the voice intonations, it reaches different aspects of our the auditory apparatus here, auditory cortex in the brain, and that is what, from there the entire system starts. That is how it starts. So my mother used to give one example of Sant Ramdas, who is a Guruji, Gurudev of Shivaji Maharaj. So he used to go for to beg for food and things. Bhavatu Bhikshan Dehi. So he went to village, and he went to a home where one lady was sitting there, and she said, Maharaj, please come over. I'll give you some food to eat. So she was so pure in her heart, so simple and so nice. So she gave him food as if this Ramdas Swami was her own son. So gently, so with all the love she used to give. And Maharaj used to eat every day. She used to come. So there was one very jealous lady next door who would think, and who would say, because since the time Maharaj is coming to your home, you are seeing a lot of wealth and lot of happiness and lot of fulfillment. You are always smiling and happy. Maybe I should also call. So she said, before he reaches this lady's home, this jealous lady would call him. He said, Maharaj, come over. I'll give you better than that lady's food. No, that lady doesn't know how to cook. I'll give you better one. So he said, okay, sure. Go inside. I'll be back in few minutes. I'll just go. So he went there. He went to a gutter somewhere. Absolutely filthy water was there. So he washed his kamandalu in that gutter. And while he was washing it, that lady came with his very nice rice, basmati rice, smelling nicely. So he said, okay, Amma, give me this food in this gutter, this bowl. He said, Maharaj, are you crazy? Don't you think this is my so nicely cooked basmati rice in ghee and all that? And I should pour this in your gutter filled bowl? He said, that's exactly what this thing was. So you want me to give you the knowledge that I used to give to that lady next door in your gutter filth filled head. How do you, if you cannot give your rice in my bowl, how do you, in my dirty bowl, how do you think I can give the knowledge to you in your brain, in your head, which is full of dirt and filth and jealousy and hatred and all that? That's not how it happens. That is exactly what my mother told me that story, and I still remember that. So this is the beauty of that mantra chanting is, first you don't understand the meaning, that doesn't matter. First, you don't know what Om is. 99% of people still don't know what Om is. I don't know either. But it works. So anyway, it's the same situation happens when you go to the temples. So in the temple, that there's a big gong sitting outside when you wait. It is not to let God know that you are here. It is to purify you. Actually, that's the whole idea of the gong, which figuratively speaking, it sonicates the apparatus, which is the brain, right? Now, with that rewired brain, one is ready to receive and understand the import of the mantra and stotram. Once you start chanting it, it purifies the system, and then you start to understand it also eventually. This is the beauty of that system. Aha. So finally, the real intertwining is in the temple. Remember, in the temples outside, there are a lot, the big gong is there, and then there is a low frequency gong, that type of. And then there's a medium frequency gongs sitting there. And then there is a very high frequency gong in the Garbhagraha of the deity, right? So that once you travel from the low frequency to the high frequency, it is almost like going from the edge, the Muladhara chakra to Sahasra chakra, which is very high frequency. So, so this is, so humans are known for their speech because of the prefrontal cortex. This particular cortex, which has the Broca's area, the speech area, which was developed in the Homo sapiens when we stood up, right? That is the speech area that is differentiates us from other animals. And the speech came from where? Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Athar Veda, Sam Veda. These are the four Vedas. That basically Sam Veda is the sound which basically talks about music and sound. And Yajurveda talks about Maha Mantras and all that. So Atharveda, all the Vedas, Rig Veda is about Kriya, Karma Kand and all that. So all these Vedas came from where? Om. This is where it came from. And where does Om come from? From the Shivji's Damru. And that's why you say Shivji is the father of everything. And actually the entire grammar, whole grammar of creation, I purposely use that came from Damru's sound. How can we use the AUM, the triplet code for our well-being and evolution through brain reprogramming? So this is the whole idea. How can we use this properly? So in biology, there is a triplet code, right? The of guanine and all the nucleotides are there, right? So the different nucleotide can code for different proteins. Like if it is in a codon, if this is GCU, uracil, cytosine, and guanine, adenine, cytosine, this thing. So these are different codon which codes for different protein, different amino acids. And when amino acids are joined together, it forms a protein. So the sequence matters. Sequence matters. But in our OM, you cannot say AUM and MUA. You can't do that. So, but we can do the frequency intonations, right? Say in this AUM is of the pretty much the same frequency. But if you say A with a low frequency, M with a high frequency, when it is small means the firing per minute, per second is very high. That's why I have written low here, small m. And big M means low frequency. Small m means high frequency. Similarly here, if you start with high frequency and then go to low, there is different intonations you can do in order to create all kind of manifestations. So that's the beauty of it. The letters of Sanskrit alphabet allow the human mind to interface with the primal energies of cosmic intelligence and receive its deeper insights. So how is that? I'll tell you. Now, vowels you see in Sanskrit language or in Hindi language also, a, I, U, aha, right? So each type of sound has a spiritual and yogic implications. And that's why uh, in Adi Shankaracharya Shiv Manas Puja, it says that let it says that Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahacharaha Prana Sharirang Graham Pujate Vishayopabhoga Rachana Nidra Samadhi Sthiti Sanchara Padayo Pradakshina Vidhi Stotrani Sarvagiro Stotrani Sarvagiro. Whatever I speak is a stotra and mantra. That is what Adi Shankaracharya says. Whatever comes out of my mouth is stotra or mantra. And that is the beauty of this vowels. Because these vowels represent consciousness, spirit, and the Shiva principle. Vowels are the essence of sound and vibrations. Without the vowels, you cannot even say consonants also. It is not possible because it continues independent and enduring in the resonance. That's why it is. You can take any vowel and intone it indefinitely. That's the power of that. You can intone it indefinitely, and you can get a lot of variations in those intonations. And that's the beauty. That's why the infinite. See, triplet codon in biology can give rise to so many amino acids and so many proteins. But that's just this. What about the rest? What about the stone? What about the earth? What about the stars? What about the whole cosmic creation? Om can do that because it has infinite intonations. That's why. Most powerful Sanskrit seed mantra like Om and Aim are vowel predominant for this reason. Mukesh ji has always asked me, how do you do this Aim, Ing, Hring, Hrong, all that stuff? But I'm trying to work on those. I'm trying to understand those things. He has given me a challenge to figure it out. So I'm trying to figure it out right now, Mukesh ji. You can hang in there a little bit longer for me. Okay, what happens is that these mantras, they allow our energy to open, expand and ascend to higher levels. Now consonant, yara, lava, sha, sa, ha, sa, ksha, ha, right? These are the consonants. Now these are opposite in nature to vowels. Consonant represents matter or nature, prakriti, or the Shakti principle, the Purush and the Prakriti, right? Remember the Kapil Muni's Sankhya Shastra has talked about this Prakriti, Purush and Prakriti, and of course Shakti and other principle is from the Shaiva tradition. So that's from these. See, vowels by themselves cannot make anything, but they are essential. Consonants by it they make things happen, but without the vowels they cannot function. So this is how the beauty of the Shiva and Parvati principle happens here. The consonants serve to focus the pure sound quality of the vowel in a particular form or a direction. It gives a direction to that. So consonants are contact based and require a vowel in order to express them. Try pronouncing a word that can consist of consonant only, it's not possible. Right? So yeah, when you say yeah, is already there, ra also is there, la is there, all these. So without the vowels, you cannot say consonants. While consonants allow for a definitive expression, they also create illusion as sound becomes limited. You see that that is where the illusory part of the Shakti principle comes. So even though she is creative, but at the same time it creates an illusion. While vowel represents eternal powers, consonants are the forms which manifest in the limited field of time, though they may reflect higher qualities. The four levels of speech here is Vaikhri, Madhyama, Paschanti, and Para. Now this is in various actually Abhinav Gupta's. You might the one who is like big exponent of Kashmir Shaivism and Spandan Kriya. So Spandan Karika and all that. He is a genius. Like I mean, it will take me another lifetime to understand him. So it is tough for me even now to get to even comprehend how much depth he has gone into this concept of Purush and Prakriti thing. He is genius. So Vaikhari is audible speech, right? Madhyama is pranic speech. Pashyanti is illumined speech, and Turiya is para, right? So what are the locations here? Vaikhari is basically throat, audible mantra. Madhyama is heart, right? Breath is responsible for that. Pashyanti, navel chakra, quiet and contemplative. And para is the root chakra, which is absolute silence. So Vaikhari is for the waking state, Madhyama is for the dream state, and Pashyanti is for the deep sleep, and para is Turiya state and for the samadhi. So these are the different levels of speech. Where eagles dare, significance of Bij mantra. Didi talked me about, asked me, how do you make the Bij mantra become the thing, right? How do you make that? In what way are the Bij mantra going to create, or what is the whole relevance of it in the creative part? So Ardhanareshwar, right, is basically Prana is Shiva principle and speech is Shakti principle, which are intertwined, and that's why the Ardhanareshwar happens. So Abhinav Gupta defined Prana and speech in Kashmiri Shaivism as Prana as masculine principle. Prana is formless being and consciousness sustained by Prana, right? Prana communicates intention, but doesn't create it. It only communicates intention in a very loving manner to the Prakriti or to the speech, right? Otherwise, nothing happens. Prana is the meaning behind speech. Speech without the prana is the last person who is dying, who has less prana in it. If he speaks on the dying bed, he can only move his lips, nothing will come out. So that is the prana is behind, is the meaning behind the speech, and it is the that which sustains the speech. Prana is the speaker. Prana provides the impetus to speak. That is expression of inspiration. And the speech is feminine principle based on form and matter. The name and form arises from through speech. The speech is prana in action. That is the most beautiful thing about speech is only with prana, so only with speech can prana be expressed. Right? Speech is a sound created by prana as it tries to express itself outwardly. Speech is the instrument of prana, and speech expresses our prana. So these are the differences in the prana and the Purush and the Prakriti, Shiva and the and Parvati. This means that we cannot forget the role of prana in mantra. So now you're getting the point here as to how the beach mantra has to have the prana. So breathing is very, very important. Very, very important. So the prana is where the breathing happens. Pancha prana and initial breathing is and pranayam is different from shwasayam as we have discussed earlier. We'll talk about that later some other time. But anyway, the pranayam is very important in the right um, energy manifestation of the mantra. Let it be simple like that. The power of the breath and the greater vital energy behind it vitalizes the mantra. Similarly, mantra can work to hold and sustain our prana. Beautiful. This is reverse. What happens is prana is necessary for mantra to give vital energy to the mantra, right? But at the same time, mantra can work to hold and sustain our prana also. Prana, we could say, is the spirit of mantra. So they are intertwined. That is the nourisher aspect I'm talking about. At one point in time, you cannot say this is Shiva and this is Prakriti. The Purush and Prakriti, they just intermingle. You don't know. It's just together. Separate, they have no role. Nothing happens. Only when they come together, things happen. Mantra in turn is the expression of prana. Whatever most engages our prana or vital energy becomes the main subject of our speech. This is very important. So whenever we focus on a particular thing, right, that becomes the main part of our speech. Sometimes yeah, you must have heard somebody, it is not a slip of tongue. It is never a slip of tongue. It has always been in your vital energies inside when it became speech, before it became speech. So it is never a slip of tongue. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. No, 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 no. It was meant to be like that. You have been thinking long before it became the audible speech. Anyway, so, so whatever we can perceive through any of the different senses, be it be it ears, be it nostrils, be it tongue tasting, be it hearing, or whatever that is, all the senses express themselves through the power of speech only, apart from which they are mute and incapable of articulating themselves. Whatever five senses can communicate can only be articulated through speech. So, which means uh, Parvati principle is very important in that also. That's why when somebody says, well, I can only chant it mentally, well, you don't get the full benefits of mentally chanting Om. Om must be chanted loudly. And as loud you can, with a lot of voice intonations, with a lot of sound intonations, better it is. Speech, therefore, is the guide for all other senses. Through the control of speech, we can control our senses. See, reverse, see this? All the things, see the beauty of this, all that is Purush and Prakriti, it is constantly going back and forth. Remember here, everything is in that realm only. Even though all the five senses can be expressed through speech only, but at the same time, it is through speech we can also control the senses. That's the beauty, and that is where the importance of mantra comes. So this means that the mantra can help us master, energize, and harmonize all our senses. The mind is composed of thoughts. And remember, the flow of thoughts is not uh, in Bharatiya scriptures, of course. Brain and mind and those things are the Western thought pattern. The brain is a function, structural aspect of mind, and mind is the functional aspect of brain. That is the Western definition. But in our Sanatan Dharma scriptures and all that, they talked about mind as nothing but flow of thoughts. And the thoughts are always of two kinds, either it is of the past or the present, or the future, never of the present. You cannot have a thought in the present. It is not possible. It's only about past or in the future. Now, the mind is composed of thought, which are based on words and reflect our speech pattern. Thought itself is a subtle form of speech. Our thoughts are a kind of internal conversation, our own mental talk. I'll get to this point a little later. What is that region which is responsible for this mental talk and internal conversation within us? If we replace this mental speech, which is junk actually, because all we talk about is if we are left to ourselves. Let's say if we go to the fMRF, a functional magnetic resonance imaging lab somewhere in the hospital, and that radiologist asks us, okay, get inside this thing and don't think. You know what? If you say don't think, that's exactly what will happen. He will think. And he will think only two things, either of the past or of the future, nothing else. And that is mental speech. If we replace that mental speech with Bij Mantra, we can transform the energy of our mind and heart. That is the place where Didi is working on with so many people she has helped. And I've seen her data on various people who have come and did her program for six different sets, 21 days, and it is unbelievable. I haven't seen such fantastic data, such real data, experiential data. And I would encourage Didi to work on some of the top-notch labs in India, and get the data out, real hard data, the scientific data, which I don't know, which I don't think it's important enough, because her her data itself speaks million words rather than the piece of paper in science. I don't know why the people so worried about this.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, Dadi. So the higher speech of the mind is the basis for buddhi, the higher intelligence. Buddhi. So when you do this chanting thing, this Bij mantra chanting, especially the Om is the ultimate Bij mantra, right? So what it does is the Dhi of Buddhi is actually the spiritual heart, they call it, right? Right? Medha, another Dha. Medha is the brightness, the effulgence in your being, right? And Pragya, the higher awareness. This is the third one. And Dhriti is higher will. And then Smriti is the memory. These are the five things that you get when you chant Bij mantra. I repeat again. Dhi, Medha, and Pragya, and Dhriti, and Smriti. Smriti is memory. So Bij mantra are not just sounds as one of the five elements, but a primal sound vibration behind all the elements. Mantras as primal sound can change the nature of the mind down to the subconscious level through mantra. So, see, remember, most of us have done unconscious action or thoughts in our past, either past in this lifetime or in past previous lifetime. So most of that is still in your subconscious, and it is the subconscious level when we do some things which unconsciously always, and let's say for instance, in my case, I'll tell you my own. I used to get angry just for the hell of it. I don't know why. I just got angry. Why I was there? Because it was deep inside my subconscious. The anger was still not released somehow, and it was there. Sometimes you act in certain manner which is, you don't know, did I even think about it? No, but that was driven by the subconscious. So subconscious has a lot of baggage, and that is what keeps us from transformation, keeps our transformation at like restricted. No matter how much we do, still nothing is working, because at that level the subconscious junk is sitting there that needs to go, and that is mantra's job, is to clean that. So through the mantra, the control of both the mind and sense become possible, because it is that which it goes into just like deep cleaning. You get your deep cleaning done sometime for the home. They come and wash. They with a toothbrush they will clean up the whole small nooks and corners. And then you feel, my goodness, this was that much junk sitting here. I thought it was clean. So that's why we think that we are clean, we are cool. No, we are not. There is junk sitting there, lot of junk. And mantra does the job of cleaning, deep cleaning. Mantra can open our inner senses and higher levels of the mind that are otherwise very difficult to access. Yes, very true. The basis of Bij mantra or seed syllable like O is to carry the divine in both its manifest and unmanifest form. So that is the unmanifest. Didi, you talked about the consciousness thing. How does that Bij mantra and consciousness have the interplay? This is the place where it's the O. O is the one which manifestation and unmanifest. Ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. Say when you say it is um duality. O is between duality and non-duality. And is both the lips are closed, which is non-dual. So that is from duality to intermediate, and then the non-dual. And the reverse is also true, right? So for manifestation to happen. Like for instance, this manifested for the unmanifest consciousness eventually becomes a seed, and the seed carries the whole tree with it. Similarly, unmanifest thing can be made manifest by mantra. And in the yogic this thing, the mind body identification, the duality, the Bij mantra makes it a conscious yogic consciousness, non-duality. So that thing which I just talked to you about, that is non-dual. So Nikola Tesla is one of the most revered scientists. I admire this man so much because he has talked so much of our scripture basically at his scientific level, which matches everything in our scriptures. That's the reason I have such high regards for this man. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequencies, and vibration. Any further revolution in science will happen in sound or in the frequency and vibration level. Vibration, I would say. So, like, remember this particular equation, E equals mc square, this Einstein empirical equation, the energy is equal to mass of a particle multiplied by velocity of light, right? Square. Now, it says also that if a particle with a rest mass m, travels with the speed of light square, it becomes energy only. Now, Satyan Bose, on the other hand, talked about something which is unbelievable. He says, if we condense energy, can you make mass? Yes. That is the whole idea of manifestation and manifestation. So for instance, this was the pure energy, right? This was the pure energy. Maybe you can say dark energy. So dark matter is the subjective science. This on the right of this red line, it is all pure dark matter or silence. I would say pure subjective science here starts here. That's what subjective science. Let's talk about objective science for a while. How does manifestation happen? If this is energy, if it is condensed, which they call it the Bose-Einstein condensate, and further condensed to fermion condensate, and then further condense it, it becomes plasma. Further condensing it, it to become a gas. If you gas, I mean, water vapor, remember that water vapor can be converted to liquid and to the ice, right? And similarly, the reverse is also possible. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma, fermionic condensate, Bose-Einstein condensate, and then the pure energy. So whatever is all energy in its manifestation or not unmanifestation only, right? Wherever it is. This is the realm of pure objective science. And when we talk about Om and all that good stuff, we are operating here in the dark energy, in the pure silence, energy of silence, right? So this is what I just wanted to share with you that remember we talked about vibrations. There you are. These are the vibrations. Different vibrations. If you condense the energy to a lesser vibration potential, then it becomes condensate. Now, of the AUM, I'm gradually getting at every vowel. The Sanskrit vowel A is pronounced deep in the back of the throat. Right? Like another, not the A, like it vibrates the neck, the lungs, and the heart. If you are very observant, I think people who, Didi, you are in your group, people must have, in fact, you yourself have experienced that in the neck, the lung, the heart, and the body draws the energy from it. It vibrates when you say, I mean, I would say if somebody can just say nothing else for 1 year, they will be having a totally different understanding about life. Is the like father, like long vowel. It requires much more. It requires a much more significant opening of the throat. Right? Now, is the short vowel, the absolute, the infinite, the pure being the void, right? At the energetic, at the spiritual level, at the physical level, the psychological level, and the yoga level, it has all different understanding. At energetic level, it is pure existence. Simple affirmation, simple negation, light as bare illumination, unmanifest self. That's what energetically it means. In spiritual parlance, it talks about absolute, pure consciousness, Parabrahma, Godhead, you call it, the Supreme Shiva. And the top of and at the physical level, it represents the top or the back of the head, right? Back of the head here. And psychological, it is deeper consciousness, the source of mind and prana. And of course, in yoga, in the yoga language, it talks about, it means it promotes pratyahara, meditation, samadhi, detachment, and it is a crown chakra energy, and it is mostly activated by yoga nidra. O, Om, like Oyok, sound wise, right? It is a Shiva energy manifest and unmanifest, affirmating and ascending. This is what it means in a spiritual level. The whole uh, uh, slide is worth 2 talks actually. So I'm just condensing it a little bit. So just giving you a taste of it at the spiritual. So physical level, it is the upper jaw, prana, mouth. Upper jaw means prana, the roof of the mouth, right? And it opens the prana in the head and the spine. Now, this particular thing itself is one seminar. This physical thing itself. So, but I'm just touching a small point in it. And the psychologically, it clears the mental and emotional field, connects mind and the higher self. In the yoga language, it talks about knowledge, devotion, unity, pranayam, and energizes all the yoga. So, now as in flute, right? Energetically, it represents the vibration. Uh, ooh. So it is basically between manifest and unmanifest. It is in the center, not not completely not completely dual, and not completely non-dual. Also, it is in the beginning somewhere. That's the beauty of that right? The right ear, hearing and audio perception circulation. This is at the physical. The right ear. This is something which I could not grasp till I found the research papers which talked about different tonal um different cells in the cortex, auditory cortex, which responds to different tones. And this particular O is in the right ear, not in the left ear. See, this much this much clarification is there. So sometimes some people talk, you just bend your ear towards that. Maybe you could not hear it from the right ear, or maybe you would the left ear, or the vice versa, right? So this is what it is all about. U represents intuition, prana, and comprehension, the mental grasp. If you grasp something, it is because of the U, that region in the cortex, auditory cortex, which activated some reason. That's how you say, oh, I got it now. That's what the grasping is. The perceptive listening, knowledge, not just listening, perceptive listening, with all the peripheral awareness around it. And it is almost like formless meditation in the world. So that is what U activates. The U, AUM, the U activates this. It represents a vibration, unfoldment, creation, and power. Oh, now we are getting one step closer to AUM, right? Oh, more power and energy, because it adds to the A and adds to you both with full expansion and divine energy of consciousness. The Shiva principle in full expression, right? Pervading the universe. Now, at the physical level, it is the lower teeth and the jaw. Like these are the ones which are getting when you say, oh, so it is basically the lower teeth and the jaw gets the primary expression. Now, at the psychological level, it is an expansive aspect of the mind and the prana. So from the unmanifest to manifest, it is a I would say almost like a Bose-Einstein condensate, something like that, right? Little, it is not particle yet, it is not energy also, it is halfway somewhere. So that's where it's at. It is the one which promotes contemplation, affirmation, and samadhi, pranayam and samadhi. Now, oh, that is coming from this anuswara, represent vibration, and this is basically what you call is completely unmanifest thing. It is a nasal sound of Om, drawing its sound in merging in the mind. Now, energetically, it is into the holding, harmonizing, internalizing, and dissolving within. This is the in Brahmari Pranayam also. This is used most, and that is it is at the top of the head and upper palate. The upper palate is just upper palate behind the soft palate, soft part of the mouth cavity. That's the place for Agya Chakra, and from there to absolute. So that's why it said it at the top of the head and upper palate. Now, psychologically, it is the mind which is functional here, a deep feeling and profound knowing. You cannot speak out. That's the reason. You just know it. That's it. Profound knowing. Promotes contemplation, emergence, and internalization. Now, this is Agya Chakra. O plus is Om. Now, now you see the matras here. A, I, U, A, O. O, O, Aha. Right? So you see, if you say Om, it is here. When you say A-U, then it becomes O. Whereas when you say Om, it has lesser power when you as compared to AUM. So some people ask me, how do you justify people saying Om and Aum? Aum, AUM, Aum versus Om. This is the difference. One matra difference, less energy in Om versus more energy in Aum, AUM. This will free you of self-imposed limitations due to conditioning, freeing you to live from the perspective of higher self, this particular chakra. So it's not that it's going to be very, just one matra is difference, but if you say Ao, it has a much power. So Ao plus is Aum. And you see that from O to Ao, there is a big jump here. And is coming from the bindu is coming from this ang. This will bring you into alignment with your higher self, your life path and the absolute. That's the power of Om versus the power of Om. It also removes you of self-imposed limitations, but at the same time, this fellow will align you with your higher self and the path and your life path and the absolute. It will align, it will give you a better alignment. Of course, that also will take some time, but it still is less matra, right? Less energy. So if you do the intonations now, there is another thing. If you just do this thing, this is this is visarga. Whereas if you just do the simple om, it is all going up. Whereas if you do the intonations, you can intone it indefinitely. That's what it is. The final goal of om chanting is to know that the entire creation is within these two sounds, and her. They remember the A, I, U, U, A, I, O, and the last one is her. The last letter alphabet is her. So if you do the right? If you put the bindu there to the her, it become Now is I, which is Brahman basically. So whatever that is in the creation is aham. I am Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. So this is the beauty of Om. When you say Om and you feel internalized it and you feel that the bliss, it is that bliss of Aham. And everything in this world of names and forms fall into this category alone, nothing beyond it. So Aham is the whole Brahman, the entire creation, non-manifest and unmanifest and the manifest, all combined. And then only you can say Aham Brahmasmi. And that is the power of this Om. So there are some people who have done some great studies on Vedic chanters, basically from Atharva Ved. And they have done some fantastic study on and differences in anatomical structures in the brain, which and what all places the activity becomes low and what all places the activity become higher. All those stuff they have talked about. This gentleman is the first author of this work. However, this work was done in Manesar National Brain Research Center. Didi, I would strongly recommend you to contact any of these fellows to uh, do some research on you only. You become the subject, and may tell
Yeah,
you
sure.
honestly, Yeah,
I would love to be the subject, no doubt. Thank
this
you
and
so much.
they have got some unbelievable facilities to do the job. Beautiful, beautiful facility. You should talk to some people over there. Um, okay. So
Yeah, sure,
anyway,
sure.
so this guy, I'll not go to the details of this. I'll just tell you one thing because this is all too much of anterior cingulate cortex and all that. So hippocampus and some memory and all. So anyway, so when you talk about temporal anterior cingulate cortex, it is the place where married women put the sindoor in the between the middle of their hair. What do you call that? Split, right? They split the hair like that. So between that is exactly the position of this anterior cingulate cortex. Actually, cingulate cortex, anterior and posterior both. In our brain, that is the most metabolically active region in the entire brain. And that is the whole reason of putting the sindoor here and the tika here is for that reason only, to keep that thing activated. Okay. So I'm just going to give some salient slides and again give the real summary of what this work did, what these people did. So what they did was they had chosen some pandit who have this chanting ability from at the age of 10. They have been studying this for another 20 years, 30 years, stuff like that. Different people who have done this kind of work. Chanting has done of Atharvaved and Yajurved and all that stuff. So they measured the thickness and the what is the density of those people who have not chanted versus those who have chanted. Density means how much thick is that particular layer in the brain. Thickness is purely because of number of cells and number of neurons. If there is a, if there are like um, 2 billion neurons in a particular area, and suddenly it becomes 3 billion, then there is something going on there, right? Some activation is going on and some new synthesis of new brain cells are being created there. That is all they study. And now they found that the brain area which have the fear and anxiety, especially the limbic system, the areas which are involved in fear, anxiety, and all the low frequency emotion, the limbic system, those are the areas which become lesser in thickness because of chanting. You see this whole the second this thing is, oh, this is your control and this is your limbic system. This all amygdala is the place where you get you panic mode, right? Absolute panic mode in the if anything that happens, that's what it is. So these are the areas which are responsible for limbic system, or I would say um, the panic attack, fear, flight, and fight response. That's where these chanters are cool. They don't have any problem. No matter how much stress you place on top of them, they will be just cool. They will take it to they will not look upset. They will think about it and they'll act on it rather than panic and get out of the situation. Very relaxed people. So anyway, these are the different thicknesses compared to especially the superior temporal cells. Don't worry about the names. These are all complex names. Even I don't know whole some of them. So, and I'll just summarize it. Mantra chanting increases the volume of the higher cognitive structures in our brain, increases the volume of hippocampus involved in long-term, short-term memory. Okay, decreases the volume of those brain regions, limbic system especially, involved in lust, fear, greed, rage, anger, jealousy, hatred, etc. Allows for a fresh rewiring of prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher cognitive tasks, creativity and intuition, and activation of insular cortex for compassion processing. This is what I was talking to you about, Dedi, one day. I was telling you that insular cortex, if they are not talking about it, then I don't know. There is something something not right with the data here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway. So yeah, so insular cortex is very, very important thing, because this is the place where this is the structure in the brain which basically takes over the panic situation and gets into you into the, actually it is a salience network. They call it salience network. I'll tell you a little later. Oops. Only after all these things, only then we can understand the real meaning of Upanishad. Otherwise, it will just an intellectual exercise. Yeah, I understood it. I am Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, yeah. And they go and talk about Aham Brahmasmi to a friend and try to beat them down for no reason. Try to win over the argument. No, that's not winning over the argument. Are you feeling compassion? Are you feeling that? That is what is important. Understanding at the not at the intellectual level, at the heart level, I would say. That's why I wrote, it is not the mindset that matters, it is heart set that matters. Behind me, it's written there. There's another very beautiful work that recently I just saw, the physiological correlates of religious chanting. It talks about posterior cingulate cortex shows the largest decrease in eigenvector centrality. Okay, I'll tell you what that means. Now, posterior cingulate cortex shows this is a cingulate cortex, and if you cut the brain in like half like that, this cingulate cortex.
I think this pause is everybody able to hear?
Then one gets up and intermingles with everybody, and he intermingled with 10 or 20 groups. He has 20 eigenvector points. So what happens is, this is exactly how I'll explain to you. So so this particular posterior cingulate cortex is the one which is the most active throughout the day. No, if you ask somebody to go and sit into a fMRI scan, this will be the lit up portion mostly. Because what happens, this is the one which thinks, this posterior particularly thinks all the time about the past and the future, never about the present. So when you do meditation, this particular fellow gets low points here. Suddenly now you are going to be relaxed because of the delta oscillations. This is beautiful. So what is this particular thing? Posterior cingulate cortex is the part of the default mode network. Default mode network means, if you don't do anything, if you don't mind wanders in this, mind wanders about future, making castles in air, or trying to worry about the past, that is what this default mode network does. Whereas when you do the Om chanting, this particular thing goes lower and lower and lower. Initially, it goes higher. Remember that. For those people who have never done chanting, it will go higher, but afterwards, it will go low. The functional aspects effects are not due to peripheral cardiac. So whatever that we are talking about is not due to respiratory activity or anything, but it is purely because of the chanting. So these are the 8 different things Om chanting does. I'll grow very fast because I think I'm running out of. How much time do I have, Didi?
You can like you have like take 10 minutes more, then we'll ask
Okay,
questions.
yeah, I think I'll finish in 10 minutes faster.
Yeah.
Right. So auditory processing is activation of default mode network. Remember that. Auditory processing, brain entrainment, activation of the reward system, dopamine and all that stuff. Because of this reward system, you feel like doing it again. And if this activation is not happening, you will never come back to Om chanting again. Because this is important. It reduces stress. Then it has increased parasympathetic activity because of the vagus nerve activation it does. So in the face, there is a whole big network of vagus nerve. So that also get activated. In the abdomen also there is a vagus nerve activation. Now it also, first of all, it causes activation and then again deactivation. How come? That they will discuss little bit. Increase in the cortical thickness because of the increase in the mass of those cells there, and neuroplasticity we'll talk about. So this is the place, this is your ear, and this is the place where the voice, the sound enters and goes into and activates and gets settled up here into this primary cortex, auditory primary cortex. From there, it activates the default mode network. Now, what is the default mode network? They are basically, it is active when the mind is wandering. Wandering is you just uh, either worrying or doing some dumb thinking, or I don't know, whatever the thing is. Just wasting time. Not focused in the present. The regions responsible for this is medial prefrontal cortex, posterior cingulate cortex, and temporal lobe. These are the regions. So this is the this thing default mode network over here, medial prefrontal and the posterior cingulate cortex here, as well as the salience network. Salience network is very important, and this is salience network, the left anterior insula and the right ancillary anterior insula. These are the most important thing which basically makes Om chanting possible, really. This, so this is another one. Uh, Deactivation happens here. Earlier it was activation, then another deactivation. Now, this after that it reduces the mind wandering, worry and all those things, increases the cognitive flexibility, mental clarity, increases the focus. All these things happen. First it is activation, and then again then it is deactivation. This is important. Now, because of deactivation of the DMN, default mode network, it reduces stress, anxiety, improve concentration, enhance self-awareness, introspection, and promote sense of calm and well-being. Brain entrainment. What happens is repetitive chanting also causes brain entrainment, which is basically where brain waves synchronize with the frequency of the sound that you are giving with the sound, with the typical frequency of the alpha, theta, and delta. So what is this alpha, theta, delta? Basically, this alpha is relaxed, closed eyes, decreased cortical activity. Theta is meditation level, relaxation, increase creativity, and delta is deep sleep, unconscious. In deep sleep, we have this delta activity. Or in deep meditation, conscious Turiya state. You are in totally conscious, you are sitting still, you are not sleeping. You are conscious, so aware of it. At that time also it has this. Now these are the things. The gamma, you can see the so many vibrations are per second. There is so many peaks, right? Beta little bit less, alpha even less, theta is in further less, and delta it is very less. That's what it is. The activation of the reward system, very important. Dopamine pathway, there are 3-4 different dopamine pathways in the brain. One is mesocortical, mesolimbic, tuberoinfundibular, and nigrostriatal. So these are the different pathways that get activated, and these are the most important reward system in our brain. Without this pathway happening, it is not possible. So most of the people who are struggling with Alzheimer disease or Parkinson disease have these pathways messed up. In fact, Parkinson disease, this particular thing doesn't synthesize even. So they cannot understand this. I am confident that Om chanting can reverse this Parkinson and or Alzheimer also. And Didi, you must work on this in that institution. How
Yes.
can we reverse Alzheimer's or dementia? Very, very important. Counterbalancing of fear. This is the stress situation. Brain in the hypothalamus senses the stress, releases corticotropic release hormone, activates pituitary. Again, adrenocorticotropic hormones get released and activates the adrenal cortex. sitting on top of the kidney. Just so this ACTH goes all over into the bloodstream and activates, increases cortisol. Cortisol is a flight and a fight response. Now, ordinarily, there is a feedback. If there is a little bit excess of cholesterol in the blood, it feedbacks and shuts it, both those things. But if it is too much, this feedback loop is lost. And you are in constant state of stress. And now this particular stress, fear and stress, with its low frequency emotion, cause increase in cortisol, fight and flight response. Anywhere you see people who are just fighting just for the hell of it, you can be sure that they are into sympathetic mode and increased cortisol activity in the system. They have impaired immune system, which causes real systemic inflammation, causing all the digestive, cardiac disorder, autoimmune dysfunction, neurodegenerative disorder, Parkinson, dementia, ADRD, Alzheimer disease related dementia, which is now very strongly increasing all over the world. This is crazy. So Didi, you are doing a very fantastic job for in the benefit of mankind, so that these things don't happen to them. So increase parasympathetic activity by activation of the vagal tone. Now, chanting produces vibration in the throat and mouth, which stimulate the vagus nerve branches in larynx and pharynx. So right here, there is so much of the rich vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is spread all over the body, not just one place. Everywhere, vagus means vagabond. Vagabond nerve, which is everywhere. Heart, lung, liver, kidney, intestine, everywhere. So breathing pattern, when you're doing the Om, deep breathing is already happening. There's deep, slow, rhythmic breathing. That activates the vagus nerve also. Reduces heart rate and improve respiratory function. Obviously, when you're doing deep breathing and doing oh, those kind of things, right? Emotional expression is there, strong, it evokes emotions. If you are really observant, when you have chanted Om for a certain amount of time, or you have meditated for a certain amount of time, you will start to see tears coming out of your eyes for no apparent reason. It is because of oxytocin, dopamine, endorphin together, and because of insular cortex, which is the seat for compassion. That is the place where it starts. If that does not activate itself somewhere, you have not done it enough, or you have to learn it from Didi again. Okay, reduce stress and anxiety. Yes, go ahead. Next, this is the vagus nerve network in our abdomen. As opposed to the common belief that neurodegenerative disorder are brain disorder, it is not so. It is the disorder of the large intestine or the intestine per se. All the neurodegenerative disorders of the time today, as of this moment, they are talking about, it manifests in the brain, but it starts here. So this is the vagus nerve. When you're doing the breathing, deep breathing, which stomach comes out and abdomen goes in, abdomen goes out, abdomen goes in, abdomen goes out. This is activating the vagus nerve by default level, and this activity goes up all the way and activates the brain. Now I'm going to tell you what kind of. Now this is your Manipura chakra. As you said, I remember this whole place is Manipura chakra only. Look at see how much big nerves are there. So when it gets activation, they go into activate this part of the intern first here, and then the entire cascade of activation happens in the brain. And that is what causes you to become very alert, active, and very aware. Now, this is what I was talking about when you open your mouth. Oh, these are all these inside. It just shows outside, but basically it is inside. This whole area is a vagus. Now, when you're chanting, all these things get fired up. The whole brain is wonderful then. Now, when they say thickening of the gray matter, this is the thickening of the gray matter. This is a nucleus, right? This is a nerve, typical nerve, right? This nerve contains this particular cell body, they call it soma, and this is the nucleus, which is the dark part of the brain, right? Whereas this is the axon which has the white myelin sheath. So this is white matter. So this particular thing increase gray matter in hippocampus and anterior cingulate cortex. Anterior means the place where you put your bindi, right? That's the place where I get the maximum. So increase gray matter, long-term home chanting, this is the place where it's neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain, increase gray matter, neurotransmitter regulation, default mode network, neural oscillation, mindfulness, attention, emotional regulation. I'm not going to discuss this thing. I'm already done with it. So I'll just show you one simple, the migration of neural precursor. This is in relation to the neuroplasticity that I was talking to you about. So I'll just share with you one small video of this one. It is so wonderful. You will love it. Oops. Hmm. Can you hear it, Didi?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay, good.
But we can't hear the voice, but we can see the video.
The video is fine, that's all. So this is the place where the neurons are migrating. Small things you see, those are the ones which are migrating from that particular zone. Remember the cingulate cortex? That's the one. Migration of neurons. Neurons are getting migration. I'll repeat, I resume my this thing. Let me, good. Okay. So this is the thing. Now you see the thing. Now you see the pictures again, Didi.
Yeah, yeah. The
Oh,
slide is visible.
so this is the summary of what I have discussed just now. And when do you know you have reached somewhere in your sadhana? How do you know? Say, for instance, when the scriptures start reading you. For instance, in Ganpati Atharva Shirsha, there is a portion which says, Twameva pratyaksham tattvamasi, Twameva kevalam kartasi, Twameva kevalam dhartasi, Twameva kevalam hartasi, Twameva sarvam khalvidam brahmasi. Now, this is what you pray to Ganeshji, right? But just see, just imagine when you chanted Om for a long time and inner understanding starts to happen, knowing, then this essentially is a prayer. But imagine, but see, Ganeshji is already this. He doesn't need to be told. This is essentially Ganpati T telling you that's what you are. Twameva pratyaksham. Ganpati ji is sitting here and saying that to you. And he's saying, Twameva pratyaksham tattvamasi, Twameva kevalam kartasi, Twameva kevalam dhartasi. That thou art. He's telling you that thou art. When the Atharva Shirsha starts speaking to you, or Atharva Shirsha start reading you, then you see, then that's where it's at. When Om has worked. Om has worked. And in the same way, in Ramcharitmanas, Ramchandraji praises Bharat Saris Nahi Ram Sanehi Jag Jap Ram Ram Japi Jehi. And Ramchandraji is doing the chanting of Bharatji. This reversal. When the Lord praises you, When the Ganpati ji tells you, Twameva pratyaksham tattvamasi, Twameva kevalam kartasi, then you know life it has worked. Om sadhana has worked. This Hanuman is some नहीं बड़भागी नहीं कोई रामचरण अनुरागी गिरिजा जा सुपीत सेवकाई बार बार प्रभु निज मुख गाई. Prabhu ji is singing the glory of Hanuman ji and Bharat ji. Just, I mean, this is the state we have to reach. This is the state. Hanuman ji and Bharat ji's state should be reached by us through chanting. Then only you can say Aham Brahmasmi, isn't it? And Om
Wow.
Sadhana has worked. And these are the references I just cited today, so don't worry about them. Thank you very much for your attention and patience. Special thank to Dean Mukesh Sharma ji and Anjali ji. आपको बहुत 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 धन्यवाद हम. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for this beautiful enlightening session. So very grateful. हम सब मंत्र चैंटिंग करते हैं, बहुत सारे डिफरेंट मेडिटेशन भी करते हैं, मगर इतनी डेप्थ में कि जब हम ओम बोल रहे तो इतने लेवल पे काम हो रहा है हमारे अंदर, एंड स्पेशली कमिंग फ्रॉम एन एक्सपर्ट, वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग से इट्स, I mean, words भी कम है. I'm so very thankful to take out time.
नहीं, हम तो बताते हैं आप, हम सारे जितने पार्टिसिपेंट हैं हमारे सबको हमारा प्रणाम है. आप एक काम करो, सब लोग मिलके आप एटलीस्ट 10 लोगों को दीदी के क्लास में ले आओ. प्रत्येक लोग 10 लोगों को जानबूझ के लाओ, पकड़ के को तुम जो व्हाट यू मिसिंग इज अनबिलीवेबल. इसका एक्सपीरियंस तो कर लो प्लीज, एक्सपीरियंस कर लो.
So I wanted to share the Excel sheet which I shared with you, and कई बार मैंने अपने ग्रुप में भी शेयर किया है, especially start करने से पहले. So I'll just share that thing with each one of you. So especially whenever I start the class, I get one Google document filled with everybody, so that I understand कि मेरे students जो है वो कहाँ पे, where exactly are they standing right now. So normally जब भी when they fill up, तो normally response मुझे ऐसा ही आता है, like over the time जितने भी time में कर रही हूँ, like maybe I think I must have posted more than 10 times जो 21 days का साधना मैंने कराई है. Okay, तो उसमें normally response ऐसे ही आता है कि students are facing tension, stress, anxiety, focus नहीं है, lack of motivation, body is feeling heavy, so on and so forth. Okay, after 21 days I get the another document filled to understand where exactly have they reached after 21 days. And after 21 days everybody votes, and then the answer comes like this, that I'm feeling very peaceful, very calm, improved memory, focus, clarity, reduced stress, mind body soul alignment, sound sleep, help in positive energy. So that means after 21 days, everybody is experiencing that. So it's like a proven thing कि it's working. It's actually working. हमें खाली practice करना, we just need to practice. And then practice will make the difference.
Just make the difference big time. I mean, it is not even magical. It is beyond magical.
Yeah, beyond magic.
Beyond magical.
Yeah, thank you so much. Anybody wants to ask Shrikant, you can unmute.
Shrikant ji hai, yes. Shrikant ji raised his hand.
Yeah,
दीदी आपने
namaste.
कहा था ना, सॉरी श्रीकांत जी एक सेकंड, हमको जरा, हमको हंसी हमको मजाक करने में अच्छा लगता है दीदी के साथ, इसलिए साउंड स्लीप का, साउंड स्लीप का मतलब है ना, साउंड फॉर यू एंड स्लीप फॉर मी, राइट?
Yeah.
साउंड
Thank you for the
कराटे मारने वाली स्लीप.
Yeah,
ठीक है
Shrikant ji.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for the awesome session. In fact, I was literally traveling through my brain, through all the parts of brain, just checking how the gray and white matter are, everything. Such was the visualization. Really, it was so nice to listen to all your video and audio clips. It was really awesome. Only one question I have. How does this work for people with schizophrenia?
स्किज़ोफ्रेनिया वाला अभी हमें मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन आई
हाँ।
थिंक यू नो व्हाट, I was working in NIMHANS in psychopharmacology as a faculty there at
ओके।
Bangalore. So we had some schizophrenic patients, and so what they used to do at that time, right now it's banned now, they used to do electroconvulsive therapy, इलेक्ट्रो ईसीटी। तो ईसीटी क्या करता है कि पूरे ब्रेन को एक्टिवेट कराता है और एकदम से शांत कर देता है। तो इट एक्चुअली एक्टिवेट्स द डिफॉल्ट मोड नेटवर्क एंड सडनली इट शट्स डाउन। नाउ
ओके।
व्हाट हैपेंस इज, in schizophrenia there is already higher level of neurotransmitter, dopamine है और serotonin है, ये सब बहुत high है, and it is haphazardly high, not like control नहीं है। Some locus is getting more dopamine, and that fellow is visualizing anything, and auditory hallucination हो रहे हैं, visual hallucination हो रहे हैं, सब all these kind of things are going on. So OM might help, but it has to be in a very controlled manner. You have to observe every moment, like every day observation is a must. You cannot let go of that fellow, do it and just do it. No, you have to monitor it every day, because OM will definitely increase dopamine and other things, but at the same time it has a potential to shut down brain activity overall also. So this is what I know thus far. I really don't know much whether it has been worked on schizophrenic patients yet, but definitely depressed patient, yes. Anxiety patient, very 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 good data, excellent data. Anxiety, depression, panic, bipolar disorder works very very well. Schizophrenia, I am not 100% sure yet. I do not know much about it.
Okay. Thank you. That helps daily. Thank you for the wonderful session. Gratitude to Anjali, madam. she, she's
Yes,
awesome.
Anjali madam ko
Thank you.
heavy gratitude, high level.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank
And I
Dr.
wanted
Jayashree,
this information for everybody to know, because it's a most, हम अपने health को ही focus नहीं करते. And once we can focus on our health, then we can manage everything.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Dr. Jay Shri
Jai
Chandra,
Shri
आप
Chandra.
unmute कर सकते हैं.
Yes, sir. Good morning. First and
Good.
foremost, amazing session. जो सोच भी नहीं सकते थे कि इतना इतना डीप नॉलेज इसकी आपने दी है, एंड थैंक्स टू अंजलि जी।
हमारा नॉलेज कुछ नहीं है डॉक्टर साहब, हमारा नॉलेज कुछ नहीं है इसमें।
नहीं
अंजलि को
नहीं,
मालूम है।
हम लोग तो
अंजलि
पर
जी
कुछ नहीं
को मालूम
जानते
है
हैं
कि
ना, हम लोग के लिए तो ये बिल्कुल जैसे कहते हैं ना, काला अक्षर भैंस बराबर। कुछ नहीं जानते हैं बिल्कुल भी।
हम
तो इतनी डीप नॉलेज है, आप जो मालूम पड़ा उसका कुछ अंश। मैं ये जानना चाह रही थी दो बातें, कि अगर ये करने से फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, क्योंकि आजकल जैसे आपने कहा कि अल्जाइमर, डिमेंशिया, ये सब चीजें बहुत बढ़ रही हैं, तो पार्किंसन वगैरह, तो इससे क्या वो बिल्कुल वार्ड ऑफ हो सकते हैं ये चीजें क्या? पहले पहला
कंट्रोल में
क्वेश्चन।
लाया जा सकता है, क्योंकि कभी कभी ये जेनेटिक कंपोनेंट होता है, वो जरा सा बाधा उत्पन्न करता है। और वैसे आई एम काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंट दैट इट विल हेल्प, it will help. I do not, honestly, I have not searched the literature of this studies are very recent, 2022 2020 ऐसे स्टडीज हैं ये वाले जिसमें आपको बताया गया।
कंट्रोल तो तब है जब किसी को ऑलरेडी है, पर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये
हाँ,
था कि जो नहीं है किसी के, ये करने से क्या होएगा तो नहीं आगे कुछ
नहीं 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 होगा, एकदम नहीं होगा। हाँ,
हाँ
वही है
ये।
कि अगर आप बैलेंस में रखिए ना इसको, एक एक बैलेंस होता है, डोंट गो क्रेजी। एक बैलेंस में रखिए अपने को, और इससे ऐसा, कभी कभी लोग क्या करते हैं, इस तरह करते हैं तो अपना, उनको लगता है विरक्त हो गए संसार से, छोड़ के चले जाना चाहिए कहीं और। वो गलत बात है, वो नहीं होने देना है, वो रखना है। एक बार हमने एक क्योटो में एक जेन बुद्धिस्ट वो है, मोनेस्ट्री है। वहां पे एक छोटा सा बुद्धा, ऐसा छोटा सा happy Buddha. Remember that the fat Buddha, which is happy one, happy fellow. So वो मास्टर, वो जा रहा था रास्ते से, हिल से वापस जा रहा था ऐसे, तो एक उसके स्टूडेंट ने पूछा कि मास्टर व्हाट इज जेन, जेन मतलब ध्यान, ध्यान क्या है? तो वो अपना बैग जमीन पे गिरा देता है, तो स्टूडेंट को लगता है कि हमने शायद मास्टर ने सुना नहीं है हमारी। तो वो कहता है नहीं नहीं नहीं, हम पूछना चाह रहे थे जैन को प्रैक्टिस कैसे करते हैं। तो उसको लगा शायद बताएगा, मास्टर ने कहा कि वो बैग उठा के चल दिया। दिस इज हाउ इट इज। सो वट एवर यू डू वाइल यू आर डूइंग इट, you get detached. Detachment आता ही है इसमें. There is no other choice. You will have detachment to this world. However, how do you practice sadhana? How do you practice? ये तो हो गया लाइफ में, वर्ल्ड के अंदर आके जो झोला गिराया उसने उसको, इट्स ऑलमोस्ट एज इफ सेइंग drop everything that you have. The possessions and the relations are the two things you are attached to, right? Possessions and relation, nothing else. तो वही चीज गिरा दो, उसको जैन कहते हैं, उसको ध्यान कहते हैं। और प्रैक्टिस कैसे करते हैं? वही जिसको गिराया था वही उठा के चलो, विथ विथ सच कमिटमेंट एज इफ यू आर अटैच्ड बट इंटरनली यू आर डिटैच्ड। तो ये चीज होने से कभी भी बहकेगा नहीं आदमी, बैलेंस रखेगा अपनी लाइफ में।
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल देख करके आपने समझाया, ये बहुत अच्छा लगा। एक क्वेश्चन और था, एक
हाँ
क्वेश्चन
जी
और था,
बिल्कुल।
मैंने मैसेज भी करा था,
हाँ
बिकॉज आई
हाँ
डिडंट वांट टू इंटरप्ट योर टॉक इन बिटवीन, द फ्लो वाज गोइंग सो नाइसली, आई डिडंट वांट टू इंटरप्ट। एक
हाँ
आपने
हाँ
धृति स्मृति वाला बताया था,
हाँ
बहुत
हाँ हाँ
अच्छा
हाँ।
था। आई मिस्ड इट, बट आपने उसकी पीपीटी भी नहीं दिखाया था, दैट आई वांट टू सी
पीपीटी हमको पीपीटी में नहीं दिखाया था,
हाँ,
वो स्पॉन्टेनियस निकल गया था हमारे।
पर वो बहुत अच्छा था, तो एक बार उसको रिपीट कर
हाँ
दीजिए जरा।
हाँ। धी इज, धी जो है, धी बुद्धि का धी, बुद्धा बुद्धि। धी इज स्पिरिचुअल हार्ट, आध्यात्मिक हृदय। मेधा, मेधा इज ब्राइट इंटेलेक्ट। मेधा, मेधा शक्ति जिसको बोलते हैं ना, तीक्ष्ण बुद्धि जिसको बोलते हैं, एकदम शार्प, वो भी होता है डेवलप। प्रज्ञा, प्रज्ञा दीदी को मालूम, दीदी नोज प्रज्ञा, रियली शी इज एक्सपीरियंस दैट प्रज्ञा is higher consciousness, higher level of awareness, very deep, huh? Higher and deep. Both are, they are so deep and higher both. और धृति, धृति is higher will. सर जिसको बोलते हैं ना शरणागति, जी इतना होने के बाद भी शरणागति नहीं हुई ना तो कुछ नहीं हुआ। आपकी बुद्धि,
सरेंडर।
आप हाँ हवा पानी में रह जाएंगे, हम तो बड़े तोप हो गए, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा काम। यू हैव टू हैव शरणागति ऑल्सो, हायर विल, सकम्बिंग, surrendering to the higher will eventually. This is very important in, this is what this sadhana does. अगर देखिए, वन बुलेट फिट्स ऑल है ये ओम वाला, इतना आसान, इतना सिंपल है, इतना सिंपल है, लेकिन सो ब्यूटीफुल, राइट? और धृति, और फिर स्मृति विच इज मेमोरी। मेमोरी ऑफ व्हाट? आप कौन थे इसकी मेमोरी। हु वाज, हु वाज यू, आप थे कौन, आप कहाँ से आए हो, इसकी मेमोरी, इसकी
तो
मेमोरी।
तो इसका दीदी ने अभी नोट डाला था कि प्रेजेंटेशन हम लोग को इसमें शेयर करेंगी, तो इस काइंडली ये वाला स्लाइड एक बना करके उसमें और इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दीजिए, तो
हम
अच्छा
हम
रहेगा,
हाँ हम दीदी को
अगर
भेज
हो
देंगे,
सकता है,
she'll put it there.
हाँ
अगर हो
तो
सकता है, और नहीं तो उसका राइट अप ग्रुप में डाल दें, सो दैट याद
अच्छी
रह
बात
जाए,
है।
और
हाँ हाँ ठीक है ठीक है,
वॉट
दीदी
एवर
को भेज
कन्वीनियंट,
देंगे। आई विल टेल अंजलि जी एंड शी विल पुट इट देयर टुगेदर।
ये
क्योंकि
वाली
अपन भूल
पूरी
जाएंगे।
रिकॉर्डिंग व्हाट्सएप में रहेगी, आपको जब भी देखना है आप इसको देख सकते हो। और ये वाला जो आप बोल रहे हो ना श्रुति एंड स्मृति, इसका ये मैं व्हाट्सएप पे लिख के भी दे दूंगी।
हाँ,
हाँ
बस एक
हाँ
यही मिस हुआ है, बाकी तो सब मैंने उसकी
हाँ
इनफैक्ट स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया था, तो बहुत
हाँ,
अच्छा लगा मुझे प्रेजेंटेशन।
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू
एंड
थैंक यू
थैंक यू, थैंक यू,
थैंक यू
ग्रेटफुल।
डॉक्टर
Deepika
साहब,
is
बहुत बहुत
asking,
धन्यवाद।
Deepika is saying one doubt, what is the difference between involuntary thoughts and voluntary thinking? Is there a different way to reduce them? तो डॉक्टर शेखर जी वही बता रहे थे कि चित्त शुद्धि, और हमें अपने माइंड को जो क्लीनिंग करना है वही तो ओम चैंटिंग से हो रही है। बट ओवर टू डॉक्टर शेखर जी, आप बताइए अब व्हाट यू।
देखिए, ब्रीदिंग जो होती है ना, प्राणायाम वाली ब्रीदिंग, प्राणायाम वाली, इनहेल, होल्ड मीन्स इनर कुंभक, फिर एक्सेल एंड फिर बाह्य कुंभक। ये चीज है ना, ये वॉलेंटरी ब्रीदिंग है ये। इनवॉलेंटरी ब्रीदिंग, इनवॉलेंटरी ब्रीदिंग इज प्राणायाम, सॉरी ब्रीदिंग जो नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग चल रही है ये हमारी वॉलेंटरी ब्रीदिंग है। प्राणायाम इज वॉलेंटरी नॉन अवेयरफुल ब्रीदिंग। सो इफ देयर आर थॉट्स विच आर कमिंग अननेसेसरीली, सो देखिए, ब्रीद, ये जो हमारा जो प्राणायाम है, ब्रीदिंग इज द ओनली थिंग इन दिस फिजियोलॉजी, बॉडी फिजियोलॉजी, विच इज इनवॉलेंटरी, यट कैन बी कंट्रोल वॉलेंटरली। हेंस देखिए, एक ही चीज है, पूरे दुनिया, पूरे फिजियोलॉजी में हार्ट को हम लोग कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते, इम्यून सिस्टम को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते, ब्रीदिंग, किडनी फंक्शन को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते, सब कुछ अपने मर्जी से हो रहा है। आपका रोल नहीं दिया वहां पे ज्यादा। बेकार की बात ना कीजिए, कहा उन्होंने। लेकिन ब्रीदिंग को हम वॉलेंटरीली कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, और इनवॉलेंटरीली तो हो ही रही, हम रात में सोते हैं तो होती रहती है ब्रीदिंग, हमारे कंट्रोल में है नहीं, वो रात वाली अपने आप हो रही है। लेकिन प्राणायाम में हम लोग कंट्रोल करते हैं, कैसे? प्राण, कॉन्शियस ब्रीदिंग इज कॉल्ड प्राणायाम, अनकॉन्शियस ब्रीदिंग इज ब्रीदिंग ओनली। तो श्वासायाम में हम लोग जन्म लिए हैं, लेकिन हमको प्राणायाम में प्राण प्रतिष्ठित होना जरूरी है। हम लोग श्वास प्रतिष्ठित हैं, लेकिन प्राण प्रतिष्ठित नहीं है अभी। प्राण प्रतिष्ठित कैसे होंगे? इनहेल, होल्ड, फिर ओम को एक्सेल, फिर अगेन होल्ड, फिर इनहेल। अच्छा, ये चीज के लिए एक पूरा सेशन चाहिए, इसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन के लिए, सच में। इसकी इसकी न्यूरोसाइंस में बहुत डीप है ये वाला ये जस्ट दिस मच। इसके लिए एक अलग से सेशन दीदी के लिए हम रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि
Yeah,
हम सब।
so we will I'll take time from you when you're free, तो वो हम
यस,
एक
यस।
और बार इसके ऊपर करेंगे।
तो आपको समझ में आ गया ना, ये इनवॉलेंटरी कैसे, वॉलेंटरी कैसे? वॉलेंटरीली ब्रीदिंग और ओम चैंटिंग करके इनवॉलेंटरीली लेवल पे सब कुछ कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, अननेसेसरी थॉट्स को भी डिलीट कर सकते हैं इजीली।
Anybody
दीपिका
else
जी,
who wants
आपको
to?
आंसर समझ में आया? नहीं होगा तो फिर बात बात करेंगे और डिटेल में।
इसमें एक चीज ये पूछना था कि जो
जी।
वॉलंटरी ब्रीदिंग है
हाँ।
उससे क्या अपने ऑर्गन्स को भी कुछ कंट्रोल या
अरे
ठीक कर सकते
पवित्र,
हैं?
बहुत सुंदर प्रश्न है ये। अरे सब कुछ कंट्रोल करता है ये। आप जो एक्सेल एंड होल्ड है ना, ये पूरे हिमेटोपोइटिक स्टेम सेल सिस्टम को एक्टिवेट करता है। पूरे ब्लड रिन्यू हो जाता है, ब्लड रिन्यू हो जाता है, टी सेल्स, बी सेल, एटलीस्ट 21 डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ब्लड में जो सेल्स घूम रहे हैं, बोन मैरो एक्टिवेट होता है ब्रीदिंग एक्सेल एंड होल्ड में। और इनहेल एंड होल्ड में तो आपको मालूम ही है, अभी हम तो ऑक्सीजन ब्रीथ करते हैं 21%, एयर में 21% ऑक्सीजन है। हम ब्रीद आउट करते हैं, नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग में हम लोग ब्रीद आउट करते हैं 16% बाहर, 5% है अंदर लेते हैं। 5% से कुछ होता नहीं है हमारा। तो वी कीप ब्रीदिंग इन एंड आउट, इन एंड आउट। लेकिन अगर जो प्राणायाम है, जैसे दीदी बताती है, शी कैन होल्ड वन, शी कैन हैव 2 breaths in 1 minute, whereas normally speaking you will have 16 breaths per minute। सो बताइए, 16 वर्सेस 2। लेकिन सेम लेवल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन, व्हेन यू आर इनहेलिंग एंड होल्डिंग, you have more oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange time, so that you can hold in, withhold withhold 16% and breathe out 5%। this is the beauty। and इनहेल एंड होल्ड में ये फायदा हुआ, और एक्सेल एंड होल्ड में, एक्सेल मतलब ओम पूरा कंप्लीट करते, एंड होल्ड, वहां पे आपका पूरा सिस्टम, उसमें तो पूरा आपको अलग से एक स्लाइड है मेरे पास, अभी तो नहीं बताया है, लेकिन
वी विल हम इसके ऊपर वी विल आई टेक टाइम और एक करेंगे।
यस, यस,
अभी जैसे हमारा अभी ओम नमः शिवाय मॉर्निंग में वी आर डूइंग, बिकॉज सावन मंथ है, सो
यस,
यही वाला ब्रेथ स्टाइल में वी आर डूइंग दी ब्लेसिंग ब्रेथ वर्क। तो हम कैसे कर रहे हैं? हम इनहेल कर रहे हैं पूरी ब्लेसिंग फ्रॉम भगवान शिव जी एंड माँ पार्वती, पूरा इनहेल कर रहे हैं ब्लेसिंग, होल्ड कर रहे हैं, वी आर फीलिंग इट डीप इनसाइड इन एवरी सेल, then we are exhaling gratitude, gratitude and gratitude, then we are holding, and then we are like I am very thankful for all the blessings। तो हम
यस।
ये वाले सेट पे ये वाली
ब्यूटीफुल,
ब्रीदिंग।
ब्यूटीफुल दीदी, बहुत सुंदर दीदी, बहुत ही सुंदर, एक्सेलेंट।
तो हिमाली जी, आप पूछना चाह रहे हो? आप प्लीज अनम्यूट कर।
जी नमस्कार सर, बहुत बहुत सुंदर, और बहुत थैंक यू अंजलि जी को कि आप जैसे लोगों को हमारे साथ लेके आते हैं, बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है। सर एक क्वेश्चन मेरा ये था कि आपने
थैंक यू।
जो स्पीच के बारे में बताया था, परा पश्यन्ति मध्यमा वैखरी, तो उसमें
यस,
जो परा है उसको मूल धारा चक्र में रखा था, हालांकि वो सबसे ट्रांसेंडेंटल ब्रेथ है। तो वो जरा लॉजिक समझ में नहीं आ रहा है सर।
वो मूलाधार चक्र में होने से क्या होता है कि वो फंडामेंटल है। मूलाधार बहुत ताकतवर है भाई। पूरा बेसिक्स, पूरा फंडामेंटल उस पे है। हम लोग we just want to transcend into Sahasra Chakra suddenly. We don't want to work on the Mooladhara. Mooladhara is where Ganpati ji is situated.
जी सर। जी सर।
है ना?
बिल्कुल।
तो वो है असली चीज।
जी
हम 1 मिनट हम दिखाते हैं आपको। एक मेरे पास स्लाइड थी उसकी। एक सेकेंड दीदी, हमारे पास टाइम है कि हम लोग बाद में कभी कर सकते हैं बात?
नहीं नहीं, अब पूछ सकते हैं, कोई बात।
अच्छा अच्छा। तो ये है दीदी, देखिए, ये वाला जो पोर्शन है, ये पोर्शन बहुत बहुत ताकत है इसमें। ये आपके मूलाधार वाला।
जी।
अब कहाँ गया ये? सॉरी सॉरी, एकदम से गायब हो गया। वेल, आई जस्ट शो यू दिस पर्टिकुलर। यू आर सीइंग दिस डिफरेंट चक्रास एंड वाइब्रेशंस। वही
यस।
हाल देख रहा ना आपको?
जी जी सर।
हाँ हाँ।
हाँ। तो ये जो है हायर, ये हायर फ्रीक्वेंसी नहीं है, लो फ्रीक्वेंसी है ये। लेकिन लो फ्रीक्वेंसी जैसे मंदिर का जो सबसे अंदर जाने के पहले जो एक बड़ा सा बेल होता है, वो वाला है ये। तो ये जो है, इसके बगैर आगे का मामला ही नहीं चलेगा, ये राइज ही नहीं होगा। तो ये लो वाइब्रेशन है। ऊम, ऐसे धीरे धीरे चढ़ता जाता है ये वाइब्रेशन इसका है। लेकिन ब्रेन के अंदर वाइब्रेशन जो हो रहे हैं वो अलग है। वो डेल्टा वाला है। ये वाला आउटर वाइब्रेशन है, हमारे मुंह से निकला हुआ कान में घुसने वाला, वो वाला है। ये फ्रीक्वेंसी है इसकी।
हाँ, वही मैं पूछ रही थी कि इसी
हाँ
के लिए आपने परा बताया, जो कि ट्रांसेंडेंटल है, जो कि स्पीच के बियॉन्ड है। मतलब उसमें
हाँ।
इट्स नॉट
लेकिन
इवन साइलेंट, लेकिन इट्स बियॉन्ड साइलेंस।
बियॉन्ड साइलेंस, लेकिन उसकी उसकी एनर्जी कहाँ से आ रही है?
अच्छा, सो इट इज द स्कैटर्ड वाइब्रेशन।
हाँ यस, एनर्जेटिक्स कहाँ पे है उसकी? एनर्जेटिक्स मूलाधार पे है।
ओके।
हाँ।
राइट सर। थैंक यू सर।
है ना? और उसके बाद ये वाला भी देखिए, ये sorry, ये देखिए, गणेश सिद्धि बुद्धि, ब्रह्मा विद चाइल्ड विद सावित्री, एंड विष्णु विद लक्ष्मी, रुद्र विद उमा, जीव विद आद्य शक्ति, एंड परम शक्ति सूक्ष्म शक्ति। ये सब चीज ऐसा सीक्वेंस में जाता है ये। एनर्जेटिक्स की हम बात कर रहे थे इस समय।
जी सर।
हाँ हाँ।
तो जो ट्रांसेंडल हम बोलते हैं, जो हम पूरिया बोलते हैं, बेसिकली क्या है, जब आप ओम चैंट करते जाते हो तो ओवर द टाइम यू रीच टू अ स्टेज वेयर आपको एक ब्रेथ, जब आपका एक्सेलेशन के बाद खत्म हो रहा है और दूसरा स्टार्ट हो रहा है, बीच में एक गैप है। और वो गैप बोलो या वॉइड बोलो या स्पेस बोलो या तुरिया बोलो, वो जो आप जब उसको ऑब्जर्व करने लगते हो, वो बढ़ता जाता है, बढ़ता जाता है। तो शुरू में वो खाली एक ही सेकेंड होगा, बट ग्रेजुअली ओवर द टाइम दैट गैप गोज टू, वो इजीली आपका से 45 सेकेंड्स तक भी जाता है। बट दैट हैपेंस विद प्रैक्टिस, वो इमीडिएटली
विथ
फर्स्ट डे
लॉन्ग
नहीं होने
प्रैक्टिस, या सडनली
वाला। हाँ,
इट वुड नॉट हैपन, या
सडनली इट विल नेवर हैपन। तो वो
इनफैक्ट
प्रैक्टिस
इनफैक्ट
में।
अगर ट्राई करने भी जाए तो आप यू विल हाइपर वेंटिलेट। सो डू नॉट try,
या डू
let it
नॉट ट्राई
happen.
इट।
Let it happen. It will happen, but it will take some time. And do not try मत
मतलब
करना।
वो
हाइपर वेंटिलेशन
ग्रेजुअल
हो जाएगा आप।
प्रोसेस है।
You'll have adverse effects also। उस
तो
इसी
मतलब वो
ट्रायल में उसमें जो लोभ उत्पन्न हो जाता है ना, उसी वजह से लोगों के जो अभी दीदी ने पूछा था किसी ने कि कहाँ पे स्किजोफ्रेनिया तो नहीं हो जाता, कुछ टेढ़ा मेढ़ा तो नहीं हो जाता। यस, उसी की वजह से होता है, क्योंकि लोग जो है लोभ के वश वश ये भी मिल जाने दो, ये हम बस अब ब्रह्म अब हम प्राप्ति कर लेंगे उसके बाद, नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो सब मत करिए। आराम से धीरे 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 करिए। एवरीथिंग टेक्स इट टाइम एंड इट विल
मतलब
हैपन।
वो जो आप ब्रेथ लेते हैं ना, उसको इतने प्यार से लेना है, प्यार से उसको बहुत ग्रेजुअली ड्रॉप करना है, और उसको कोशिश नहीं करनी नो आई वांट टू होल्ड, नहीं, वो आराम से ग्रेजुअली आप फोकस लाओगे वो होगा। तो अगर आपने 21 डेज वाला ओम साधना नहीं करी है तो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट आप करो, और उससे ऑटोमेटिकली आप एक्सपीरियंस कर पाओगे।
यस
तो
यस।
ग्रेजुअल होगा वो, है ना। तो
आपकी कब
एनीबॉडी,
चालू आप कर रही हैं
जैसे
21?
आप, हाँ जी।
21 डेज वाली साधना आपको आपकी कब
आई विल
चालू
लेट आई लेट यू नो इन द ग्रुप। मैं बताऊंगी अभी ग्रुप में। ये मैं एक्चुअली 6th को स्टार्ट करने वाली थी, बट आई कुड नॉट डू फॉर सम रीजंस। तो अभी मैं बताऊंगी जब मैं अभी स्टार्ट करूंगी, है ना। तो
इनफैक्ट
ग्रुप
इट
में
इज बेटर नाउ कि बाद में आप स्टार्ट करेंगे, क्योंकि इनके प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद में और थोड़ा उससे अब करेंगे बहुत
चार्ज के नहीं करना चाहिए।
एकदम सही कहा आपने, एकदम सही कहा। उसमें क्या, नॉट ओनली यू, गेट एवरीबॉडी हुम यू लव, रियली स्पीकिंग। और दीदी के हाथ सुपुर्द कर दो उनको कि दीदी आप संभालो इनको।
ठीक है, तो इन अ डे और टू आई टेल यू। तो सुबह वैसे भी 6 to 6:30 करते हैं हम वैसे भी फर्स्ट लेवल। सो उसका खाली मैं एक बार डेट देख के आप लोग को बता देती हूँ, तो फिर देन अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन स्टार्ट।
यस यस।
एनीबडी वांट्स टू आस्क? नहीं तो वी विल वाइंड अप फॉर द डे।
Yeah,
चलो,
thank you
थैंक
once
यू।
Can I
again,
ask
Anjali.
a question? Can I ask a question?
या
यस
श्योर।
यस।
My name is Raksha. I'm from Pune. I really, really enjoyed this whole session. It was so enlightening. So many things we just don't know. So I was just wondering, will we get this whole आज का जो हमने आज का जो session था उसका recording मिल सकता है क्या?
Yeah, the entire recording will be shared in the WhatsApp. And are you there in the WhatsApp already?
Yes,
WhatsApp
yes,
group?
I'm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I will be sharing the entire recording, and you can see it. You can share with your loved ones, anybody.
Okay,
And
fine.
Didi,
Okay.
Didi, you can also add my name in your group so that if there is questions, I can directly answer them.
Yeah, sure.
Whichever way, or
Yeah.
else they can post the question directly to you, and you can forward it, and I
No,
can back and
it's
forth. We can do
better
that.
one-to-one. That would be more better.
No, no.
And
I'm
also,
sure there will be lot of, after watching this and again rewatching it, there will be still some questions left because there are some. That's
This is
the
the
whole
group
idea
called
of that.
OM Level 1, right? This is the
Aji?
group called OM Level 1, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
The
okay.
same group.
I'm just making
Yeah,
sure that I'm in that group. Yeah, okay, fine.
yeah.
I look forward to the whole recording. It was so beautiful. I mean, I'm speechless. There's so many things as a spiritual practitioner we don't know, so it's very good.
हमारा हमारा सनातन धर्म इतना धांसू है, धांसू वर्ड बहुत अच्छा है हमारे मतलब ब्यूटीफुल है, बहुत अच्छा है, ये इतना मजा नहीं, धांसू बोलने से इज कवर्ड देयर, राइट।
हाँ, धासु था
धांसू, हमारा धर्म इतना धांसू है कि हमें किसी की जरूरत नहीं है भाई, साइंस वाइंस की जरूरत ही नहीं है। साइंस को हमारी जरूरत है, ये इतना याद रहे यार।
Yeah, I agree.
माय
So
गॉड।
earlier I
अंजलि जी, आप
used
जो
to.
रिकॉर्डिंग डालेंगी, तो वो सर के उससे पूरा रिकॉर्डिंग वॉइस के साथ में रहेगी ना,
हाँ,
जो
रिकॉर्डिंग तो पूरी
एक्सप्लेन करके।
वीडियो के साथ होगी ना, पूरी प्रॉपर है।
हाँ हाँ, तब ठीक है, क्योंकि अभी मैं ये सोच रही ये तो बहुत ही अच्छा हो जाएगा, क्योंकि
नहीं,
जो
ये तो
हमने।
पूरी प्रॉपर वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग होगी, आप देख
हाँ
सकते हो। एनी टाइम
ठीक
यू
है।
वांट टू रिव्यू एंड सी और व्हाटएवर यू कैन डू दैट।
हाँ, क्योंकि स्क्रीनशॉट से वो वाली बात नहीं बैठती जो इनका सुनने का एक्सप्लेनेशन को अगेन सुन सकते हैं फिर।
या
बिल्कुल।
श्योर।
थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you. And Vasudhara is saying, this is bliss, getting what I need, gratitude. And many people have said lot of thanks. Anita is saying, both are amazing. Thank you, amazing session. Everybody said thank you. Thanks, Deepika, everybody. And thanks, Shekhar Dada, so very much beyond
Thank
words.
you, Didi. I
And
am so honored that I could share something and I could empty myself as usual. Remember that? I want to empty everything.
yeah, thank you so much. And
Yes.
definitely we will have more sessions again. I'll check up with your timing and then
Sure,
we'll
sure.
come up with that. Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Shehzad, thank you. Raki Singh, it is said, we are born with a fixed number of breath and then we die. So if we are doing all this breathing exercise, are the count being reduced or counted? So जितने भी sages say they knew the secret. I think Shekhar Dada will answer more better.
Yes, actually, what happens is like a dog breathes about 550 breaths per minute, let's say, normal, plus minus. Some crazy dog will do a little more, some relaxed fellow will do less. And tortoise, 5 minutes में एक breath लेता है. वो 300 साल जिंदा रहता है, and he is healthy. हमारे साथ हमारा फंडा है कि are we going to be, um, as I said, the biggest gift that we can give to our loved one is a healthy me. If I am healthy, I am the biggest gift I can give to my family. Because then you know what, the kids are not worried about dad. They say, dad is perfectly fine. And they can scale mountains now. They are not worried about me constantly. अरे your wife is not worried about me. इसका क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, इसको तो चलना ही नहीं आता है, करे लड़खड़ा रहा है, ये वो दिस एंड दैट. सो ये से होने से अच्छा है कि वी बिकम स्ट्रॉन्गर. तो योगासन तो कीजिए ही कीजिए, उससे बहुत अच्छा भला होता है. ब्रीदिंग कीजिए, राइट ब्रीदिंग, प्राणायाम स्पेशली, ओम चैंटिंग कीजिए, उसकी सब क्लीनिंग होगी. एंड उसके बाद जो वेरी पर्पस, बड़े भाग मानुष तन पावा, सुर दुर्लभ सब संत निग्राव गावा. तो बड़ा दुर्लभ है अपना जीवन ये. इसको इसको जब तक अहम ब्रह्मास्मि लेवल तक नहीं पहुंच जाते हम लोग, at the experiential level, not because it is the four Mahavakya written in the Upanishad. No, 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 no. That is written there because they experience. What about me? Have I experienced it really? कि हमारे सिर में है, हाँ हम ब्रह्मास्म में, I'm going, I'm talking, I'm Brahma man. It doesn't bother me. No, it should bother you. If there is injustice going on, you should be standing up there. So that is what it is all about.
तो
So
थैंक यू सो मच. एंड मैं इसमें एक और सेंटेंस ऐड करूंगी. तो जिसे दादा बता रहे हैं कि अहम ब्रह्मास्मि हमें एक्सपीरियंस करना है. और वो एक्सपीरियंस कब आएगा? व्हेन यू विल स्टार्ट टचिंग द वॉइड. मतलब वो ब्रेथ के बीच का जो वॉइड है ना, उसको जितना आप टच करते जाओगे, दैट इज व्हेन यू विल स्टार्ट एक्सपीरियंसिंग. और वो हम चाहे कितना भी बोल ले, कितनी भी बातें कर ले इसके ऊपर, जब तक आप खुद एक्सपीरियंस नहीं करोगे,
yes, yes,
तब तक
yes.
वो क्या है, ये क्या टॉपिक है, ये क्या है, ये कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा. जब आप खुद एक्सपीरियंस करोगे, सो इट्स लाइक रसगुल्ला. सबने बोला रसगुल्ला बहुत अच्छा है, मगर जब तक आपने खाया नहीं, दैट टिल दैट टाइम यू विल नॉट. वो बुकिश नॉलेज इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग, एक्सपीरियंस इज द एंटायर. तो इसके लिए आपको वो
When the book,
महसूस.
yeah, book, when he starts talking to you, instead of you reading the
या
book reads उल्टा हो जाएगा. तब आपको समझ में आया कि ये शास्त्र प्रचिति हो गई. अब शास्त्र प्रचिति, गुरु प्रचिति और आत्म प्रचिति, तीन एक साथ होने से काम बन जाता है. ओम से सब शुरू, सब कुछ हो जाता है.
ब्यूटिफुल. एंड
तीनों
जैसे
चीज एक
बोलते हैं ना,
साथ ओम
शिव
से हो जाती है.
शक्ति, शिव शक्ति जैसे
हाँ,
प्रकृति और उसका
पुरुष.
मिलन. मतलब इमेजिन वो एक रेन ड्रॉप एज शक्ति कमिंग एंड गिविंग अ लाइफ फॉर्म. एक बूंद, मतलब वो शिव शक्ति. आप देखो आपके प्राण, आपके जो श्वास जो इंटरमिंगल कर रहे हैं, एंड यू आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग दिस लाइफ. जब तक आप वो एक्सपीरियंस करोगे, तभी ही आपको वो गहराई में आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी. तो इट हैपेंस ओवर द टाइम. सबका समय आता है, सबकी जर्नी है, बट जस्ट स्टार्ट करो एंड
आपने
धीरे
शुरू कर
धीरे.
दिया ना, दैट स्टार्टिंग इज द 99% एक्चुअली.
या
जिसने स्टार्ट कर दिया वो, अब वो द लॉर्ड, गुड लॉर्ड इन हिज इन्फिनिट मर्सी विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट.
चलो, थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी, थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक्स.
Thank you, everyone.
हाय.
Everyone, I'm honored
हाय.
and
हरिओम.
indebted to you.
टेक केयर.
Thank you. please join. Please tell everybody, 5-10 friends of yours to seek help from Didi. Didi is fantastic. Didi is simply awesome.
Thank you so much, and definitely the नया batch जो होगा तो we'll share and I'll thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.